Okay, so welcome back. In today's video, I want to talk about navigation links, or what we call anchor tags. Alright, so let's look at our web page currently and see what we're missing, and this might guide us on what we are supposed to talk about. Alright, so if we look at this website, this is just bare bones, nothing special to talk about. And so we want to add some kind of a navigation, but of course we should understand the building blocks of any navigation. Any navigation system is made out of what we call links or hyperlinks. And so what is a hyperlink? A hyperlink is some kind of an element which takes us from one resource to another resource, or it points to a certain resource. Alright, so in HTML we use what we call the A element. Alright, so this is what I'm going to make here. So let me put A here. If I write A, if I press enter, because of Emmet, it auto completes for me. And so we can see we have the opening anchor tag and the closing anchor tag A. Okay, so in between here, what am I supposed to write? Okay, I'm supposed to write information which tells our user where this points to. Okay, so let's say I want to point to some kind of an external resource. Let's say some kind of a website. Let's say I want this to point to Bing website. So I'm going to say Bing website. Or I can, tell the user, I can be quite clear by saying click this to go to bing.com. I can specify that. So if I save this and go to our webpage and check out right on top here, because this is where I placed it in my HTML. I placed it just above our main heading, and so that's where I placed it. And so I can see now we have some kind of a link. Okay, this is what we call a link. You can tell this is a link. If we hover over, you can see the mouse cursor changes into a pointer. All right, so there are certain things to talk about this link. You can see it's underlined. That's number one. Number two, it has got a different color than the other elements, as you can see. All right, it has got its own, default styling. However, you can change all these styles using CSS, which we are going to do later on. All right, so if I hover over, this tells me that I should click on this. If I try and click on this currently, it's just refreshing the page instead of taking me to bing.com. So what's missing here? Obviously, there's something missing. All right, so we have an important part of the anchor tag, which is this attribute over here, which we call the hypertext reference. All right, so this will point to the resource that we want to go to. All right, so in this instance, we said we want to point to bing.com, and so I have to provide what we call an absolute path. So I have to provide the full path, which is the absolute path. All right, so I can say https here, colon, and then / www.bing.com. Now, this is now pointing to that particular resource. All right, so let's save this and let's check this out if this is working. Now if I hover over and click here, look at what's happening. Now we got bing.com on our screens. Wow, it's working. All right, so I guess you guys can understand how the anchor tag works. Okay, so this is what we're going to use to build our own navigation. All right, so for now, I think I'm done. I'll see you in our next video. Don't forget to like and follow the channel. All right, so see you in our next lesson. Bye-bye.